Hi there, Doug Stuman with IT Creations with the Dell Precision 5860 Workstation Tower. Just up from the Dell Precision 3660 Workstation Tower, this unit features an Intel Xeon W-2400 series processor with up to 24 cores, and that's part of the Sapphire Rapids family of processors. This would be considered a mid-sized tower and can also support up to 2 NVIDIA or AMD professional graphics cards and up to 2 terabytes of DDR5 memory. If you like our videos, consider subscribing to our channel, or if worthy, the thumbs up. Shall we? Outfitted with an Intel Xeon W-2400 series CPU, this system offers a similar configuration to the Lenovo ThinkStation P5 workstation and the HP Z4 G5 workstation. The difference is the volume of memory it can support at 2 terabytes. Perhaps HP and Lenovo will upgrade the memory support to 2 terabytes at a later date with a software firmware update, but until then, the Dell 5860 will reign supreme in this category, at least from a memory capacity standpoint. By the way, if you want to see our review of Dell's flagship Precision 7960 workstation, click that. On another note, I'm not sure why they chose to limit the memory allocation on those systems to 512 gigabytes. Realistically, nobody ever seems to outfit these platforms with a full complement of memory anyways. Everything else considered, they do offer very similar specs, but this is not a comparison. If you would like to see the videos for those systems, check out the links I placed in the description below, or one right there, just to get you started. The case itself has been redesigned from the previous generation, and it does look pretty good. The front panel is generously perforated for airflow with a large hidden fan in the front lower portion. Definitely an industrial early Star Wars Empire look. Although given most of these systems are black, I suppose you could say that of most of them, aside from recent Lenovo offerings. There is an integrated handle on top and a little finger ledge on the back for easy lifting. Our unit has a single 3.5-inch SATA drive at the top, occupying what Dell calls a flex bay, and another below that. That blank media flex bay can also be converted to support more storage, either another 3.5-inch SATA drive or an NVMe M.2 drive, which will pop right into that flex bay slot. The actual M.2 resides in its own little aluminum-wrapped caddy, which can be removed with the press of a button. That is, unless you opt for the lockable drive bays to secure those flex bays. Below those, there's an optional optical drive. Are you interested in the Dell Precision 5860 Workstation Tower? If you are, then for a limited time you can save up to $500 off the purchase price of a system that's listed or one that you can configure at itcreations.com that comes out to $5,000 or more. Just click that link to find out more information, and when you're ready to make a purchase, just mention this video. itcreations.com. The control panel in the unit does not come in a premium or standard configuration like on some of those other workstations. On this platform, you get those premium features like USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type-C ports offering data transfer speeds of up to 20 gigabits per second, and 2 of them, with one providing power share to feed your smartphone addiction. Below those, an SD card reader. At the top, you have the power on button, hard drive activity LED, universal audio port, and the dual USB 3.2 Gen 1 ports offering data transfer rates of 5 gigabits per second. The back of the system has a fixed power supply at the top of the chassis with diagnostic light, offering wattages of either 750 watts or 1350 watts. Next, some optional old school PS2 ports for keyboard and mouse, an optional serial port, line-out audio port, then 2 RJ45 Ethernet ports. The one on top offers 1 gigabit per second, and the one on the bottom offers 10 gigabits per second. Below those, 3 USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type-C, again offering 20 gigabit per second data transfer rates, and then 3 USB 3.2 Gen 1 ports, with that last one providing smart power on for device charging. 5 accessible PCI slots just below those. 2 more exhaust fans are internally mounted on the back panel. The system does support integrated Wi-Fi 6E, and you can install Thunderbolt 4.0 for even faster data transfers of large files. You have a choice of operating systems, including Windows 11 Pro and Windows 10, but why would you go with Windows 10 anyways? Plus Linux, Ubuntu, or Red Hat Enterprise. Dell's Precision Workstation support software have definitely gotten better with age, or revisions too. The Dell Precision Performance Optimizer is now just the Dell Precision Optimizer, which comes pre-installed on all Precision workstations and helps not only with system maintenance, but also with tracking and analyzing system performance. It features application-specific profiles, which are disabled by default, but do enable you to get the best performance out of all of those independent software vendor-certified programs supported on the system. Enough of this abstract stuff. Let's look at the guts of this system. There is an optional lock on the side panel. Once inside the case, it is tightly packed in there with a plastic cover on the CPU and memory modules, directing fresh air out of the back of the system, courtesy of those rear-mounted fans. Thermal zones are horizontal, with the flex bay drives on top outfitted with a drive fan, in addition to the integrated fan for the PSU pushing air out of the chassis. Removing that plastic cover, you can see the single socket with 4 memory module slots to either side. The plastic cover has another small integrated fan which helps move air towards the back of the chassis, which is then sucked out via the 2 fans at the back. The PCI slots at the bottom have a single large fan at the front pushing cool air over the PCI slots. GPUs you can install will have active fans to push the air along to maintain operational temperatures. Helping keep the GPUs in place is a PCI holder mounted on the back of the cover, but also one in front to secure them. There's also a pretty nice diagram of the basic storage slots and fans inside the same side panel. 2 3.5-inch drive slots are located just below the flex bays, which can be outfitted with 3.5-inch or 2.5-inch SATA drives. Connectors for up to 6 SATA devices are in the little cluster of ports. 2 for potential SATA drives in the flex bays, 2 more for the internal 3.5-inch drive carriers, and the option to install 2 additional devices like a tape storage unit and an optical drive. There are also 2 PCI x 4 connectors for the optional M.2 drives you might install in the front flex bays. Adjacent to the PCI slots are 2 x 4 PCI 4.0 slots on the system board that will accept an M.2 drive each and have an aluminum heatsink for heat dissipation. That Intel W-2400 series processor is supported by the W790 chipset and is designed specifically for workstations. It offers 4 memory channels and supports ECC memory and up to 64 PCI Gen 5 lanes, offering data transfer speeds of 32 gigabits per second each. The W790 chipset also provides for 16 PCI Gen 4 lanes at 16 gigabits per second for high-speed SSD storage, plus 12 more PCI 3.0 lanes, offering 8 gigabits per second each. Memory speeds of 4,800 megatransfers per second are supported on the Intel Xeon W7 versions, but the W3 will only provide up to 4,400 megatransfers per second. The maximum memory capacity supported by this processor is 2 terabytes, and Dell, in their wisdom, has decided to grant the full measure to the end user. And I can appreciate that. Your choice of memory module will also affect the memory speed, with the system adopting the slowest speed between the installed CPU and memory modules. Our friends at Dell say you can install up to 56 terabytes of storage in the system, although I do see that number increasing as higher capacity storage devices become available. Realistically, they're already available. Let's see what it takes to achieve that number. As on those other systems I mentioned earlier, capacity limits for the 3.5-inch SATA drives are listed at 12 terabytes and up to 4 terabytes for the supported NVMe M.2 drives. What I do find surprising is that Dell actually gave us real numbers. If you load up the 4 3.5-inch drive bays with 12 terabyte drives, that provides up to 48 terabytes of storage. Add in those 2 M.2 drives you can install on the system board, providing 8 more terabytes of storage, and there you have it, 56 terabytes. Alternatively, I will add that you can still install a Dell Ultra Speed Drive quad card in one of those x 16 PCI slots for up to 16 terabytes more storage. And that would take us to 72 terabytes. I had to seriously jump through some hoops to figure out storage on the other platforms. Just saying. About those PCI slots, there are 5 PCI slots on the system. Only one is a PCI 5.0 x 16 slot, slot 1, and that is the one closest to the CPU. Then 3 PCI 4.0 x 8 slots, numbers 2, 3, and 5. Slot number 4 is also a PCI 4.0 x 16 slot and can support a GPU or one of those ultra speed quad cards. Slot 1 is the primary GPU slot, and you can install the second GPU in the other x 16 PCI slot, both of which have a reinforced slot with a metal surround. With 2 double-wide GPUs installed, all slots will be covered except for slot number 3, a x 8 PCI 4.0 slot. That one too can be outfitted with several options, including one of those Duo Dell Ultra Speed cards. It can also be used to support optional network cards for faster communications, or indeed a Thunderbolt card. We outfitted our system with dual NVIDIA RTX A4500 graphics cards with 20 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory and a dual slot design. They do look very slick. I mean, not that looks are a factor once you add the side cover, but still, matte black with gold accents? I suppose it worked for the late 70s Pontiac Trans Am. Featuring Ampere architecture, this card has 28,300 million transistors, 7,168 shading units, 224 texture mapping units, and 96 render output units, or ropes. This card has the same GA102 graphics processor as found on the RTX 3090 Ti, but has been curtailed a bit by NVIDIA to fit a certain price point and market segment, but still delivers on performance. Especially if you grab two and use NVIDIA's NVLink to combine two cards into one. It also has 4 DisplayPort 1.4 connectors for support of 4 monitors up to 4K with 120 Hz refresh, or 4 monitors at 5K with 60 Hz refresh. You could also do with 2 8K monitors at 60 Hz. While maybe not as pretty as the new Lenovo ThinkStations, this Dell Precision 5860 has the goods where it counts. You know, in performance. Support for one of Intel's Sapphire Rapids W-2400 series processors, up to 2 TB of DDR5 memory, 2 double-wide 350-watt GPU support. I'm going to go with more than 56 TB of storage, and a slick matte black Death Star-inspired case. It's lovely. I also like the optional M.2 caddies on the front, which our unit did not have, but that's beside the point. If you liked our video, subscribe to our channel, or give us the thumbs up, maybe both. I will be reviewing more professional workstations and enterprise servers, so keep in touch. I placed a few links down below for more information on this system and those other interloper workstations I mentioned earlier. Also a few links to IT Creations to learn more about this platform, or you can just click that link right there. If you do have any questions, post them in the comments section. Until next time, I'm Stuman with IT Creations, and thanks for watching.